Oh, welcome back to Breakfast with Bob from Challenge Roth. My name is Bob Babbitt. We're brought to you by Master Spas. SFuels go longer. HOKA Let's Fly. Form Smart Swim Goggles. Zoot Sports, original triathlon brand. Premium Plus Sports. And, of course, our Challenge Athletes Foundation. Our next guest, 15-time Iron Distance champion and our accordion player has been bringing us in. Let's hear it for Rainer. Rainer, you are the best. Yeah. 15-time Iron Distance champion Belinda Granger, who just decided she is racing on Sunday. We are so excited. The bike is on its way over right now. How sweet is that? You're still fit enough to do this crap.
No, I'm not. Looks can be deceiving, honestly. No. It's funny. I was sitting with Torsten Rader in the press conference, and he said, comeback. Do you get excited? I'm like, oh yeah, I'm excited. Not for a comeback. I'm excited for these
athletes,
guys.
yes.
Not for me. No one needs to see me racing again.
No, not fun. But the field, we say it every year, but the field here is pretty damn special.
Look, I think the difference this year, Bob, as compared to past years or previous years, we've always had great athletes. We always get, a small selection
like
of
one
the
or two
greatest.
or three.
Exactly.
Right.
The biggest difference this year is the depth.
Yes.
I literally I can't give you one guy or one male or one female that I think is going to is a standout that's going to win it. There's at least 3 or 4 in both the men's and the women's that can take it out.
Exactly. And when you look at where this race has come, because you won this,
do we have to say how far long ago it was?
Back in
2005.
Yes, 2005. Was that the first year of Challenge after it had gone?
No, it had actually been Challenge for a couple of years before that.
Okay.
My first time here was 2004.
Okay.
And still to this day, even though I came back the next year and won it, which was amazing, and
Yes.
still the greatest career win of mine, I have to be honest, 2004 was probably the most special because I've never had to battle so hard in a race to take a win. I still remember Nicole Lader. I got off the bike.
Oh, yeah.
And,
obviously, you're racing against a German in Germany.
And of course, back in those days, Nicole and Lothar Lader were the god and goddess of triathlon in Germany. They were just king and queen. And we know with the epic battles that Lothar used to have with Chris McCormack. And I thought, I'm going to have one with Nicole. But then I got off the bike and had about a 17-minute lead. And I thought,
oh my God,
there's going to be no battle here. I've got this one. And sure enough, she, with about 1 or 2 kilometres to go, I was told she's within 45 seconds.
Oh my God.
And end of story. She got me right before, I think with about 500 metres to go, she overtook me and won the race. But, I don't say it was a failure because it set me up, and I was so determined next year to come back and win it, which I was able to do, which is good.
And the other thing that I always love chatting with you about is we've got Chrissy Wellington coming back here,
yes,
right? And Chrissy still, it's mind blowing with the equipment changes in carbon shoes, in the bikes, and aerodynamics. Her 8:18:13 is still the fastest ever iron distance time for a woman 12 years later.
Look, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Chrissy Wellington was so far ahead of her time, it's not funny. You could plonk her. If we could take Chrissy from then and plonk her straight back into the women's field now, she'd still be winning races.
Yep.
I mean, she wouldn't be winning them as convincingly, but she would still be winning races because she was that far ahead of her time.
We were talking to Joe Skipper, and he goes, he says, I've watched Chrissy and video of her on her bike, and with the plated shoes, and with some time in the wind tunnel and things like that, there's no question she'd be taking 10 to 15 minutes off.
Absolutely, she didn't even do that. I don't even know if she even spent any time in the wind tunnel.
No.
She just got on a bike and
just killed it.
Did what she did. Yeah, she's
the funny part was, and you were one of the few people who knew this because you'd been training with her in 07, right, with Brett Sutton.
Yep.
And she went and won Ironman Korea. Then she comes over to Kona. None of us know she's got like glue-on logos, right?
That were coming off halfway through the race.
right.
Flapping around. I'm like, oh.
And you're on the bike with the leaders.
With everyone. Everyone was in that was a really interesting race because we're all, the women's race doesn't normally pan out like this, but it was one big group leading the race. Sam McGlone was there.
Samantha McGlone, yes.
Rebecca Keat was there. Everyone was there.
Yeah.
And I remember she was behind because she wasn't swimming particularly well then. We'd beaten her out of the water, but she'd slowly but surely ridden her way up to that lead bunch. And I remember she sat on the back for a bit and she's thinking, this is actually a little bit too easy. And I think I was on the front at that stage, or I was either on the front or second wheel, and she rode up on the outside and she rode beside me and she goes, Belinda, she goes, I've been on the back for a while, but it's a bit too easy.
Yeah.
I said, well, what are you doing?
Get
lost.
Out of here.
Go. She goes, can you come with me? I don't really want to do it on my own. I said, I can't go with you.
I'd like to come with you.
I
This
wish.
is sort of it. This is called red line
yeah,
right
this
here.
is red line. I ain't got any more gears. And I said, I still distinctly remember I said, you go, Chrissy, and you do not look back.
Right.
And I just saw her
You
just...
should have told
and she
her to
didn't do
slow
anything.
down.
Well,
What's wrong with you?
But she
You
didn't.
should have been like, oh, you know what? You're going too hard. You should slow down.
Well, Sato, he didn't care. As long as one of his group won, he didn't care what athlete it was, as long as someone from the group won.
Right.
And when she rode away, she didn't do anything crazy. It's
No.
not like she got out of the saddle and sprinted off. She just slowly but surely just
Yeah.
moved away. And I looked at all the women in the group, and they're all looking around at each other doing these ones, and I'm like, no one reacted.
Yeah.
No one even attempted.
Right.
And I said, what are you girls doing? I said, there goes the winner of today's race. And I said, if you think she can ride, wait till you see her run. Because then she was a phenomenal runner.
Yeah.
She was unbelievable.
Now, were you there when Brett started working with her? Because originally she was there to try to go to the Olympics.
Yes.
Right? Her whole thing was, I'm
Yeah.
going to be an Olympic athlete. And at
Yeah.
some point, Brett said, you're a diesel.
You're a diesel
You're going to
engine.
go forever.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So you saw that.
Yeah, I was there the first day she turned up. So we'd been in a camp in Thailand for about 3 weeks, and we were exhausted. We were getting flogged because it was really hot and humid in Thailand. Anyone that's been there knows how
Yes.
hot and humid it is. And we were training 3 times a day, 7 days a week.
Oh
It
my
was
God.
full on. And this bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, white young girl
so white.
that had veins and muscles popping out of everywhere turns up one morning on the bus. We had a tuk-tuk that we used to take to the swimming pool every morning. And we didn't even know she was coming. And, we were a very tight-knit group back in the
Yeah.
day, And she turned up on the bus and she was like, oh, where are we going? Oh, and just also asking all these questions, and we're all tired. We're like, shut up.
You're just so tired.
Who is this girl? And, I'll be honest, we gave her a pretty hard time
Yeah.
for about a month before we accepted her into the fold. And,
Of course.
I actually feel a little bit guilty now, but that's just the way it was.
You've got to earn your way in.
You've got to earn your
You
stripes.
don't just...
You do.
Especially
you do.
when you guys have done all these camps.
Yep.
She's coming in fresh.
Fresh as a daisy,
Of course.
and
Let's do
happy,
more.
and
Why is the interval so slow?
Exactly, and we were malnourished and tired, and so it didn't take long though. And she's once we all got to know her, she's such an incredible human being, ridiculously intelligent, and just incredible athlete. And she actually ended up becoming one of my best friends. Hilary Biscay, Chrissy Wellington, and I were as thick as thieves by the end. And when we went back to Switzerland to our normal training base there, we were inseparable. And she's a great woman. And when we were discussing who we should get back for this race, particularly when we'd secured such an incredible women's field, I said, Felix, you have to get Chrissy Wellington back here, because I think
Someone's
there is
gonna
a
break
chance.
record.
And how amazing would it be to have the woman herself here
Totally.
to put the medal over the
Absolutely.
women? I just think it's so appropriate. And,
Absolutely.
I can't
Absolutely. Having Laura here.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
Laura
awesome.
and Annie, someone. You think? Because Laura was like, 7 seconds off
Oh, yeah.
last year in Hamburg.
Yep,
So
absolutely.
there's a great chance.
And you
she
know
could-
that Laura's coming in here as a first timer.
Yes.
But Laura and her husband, Coach Philip, they don't do anything by halves. They are meticulous. So
Yes.
I have no doubt. And let's talk. Can we talk about Annie Haig?
I was
Because
just going to say, 40
Annie
years
Haig,
old.
oh my gosh,
Well,
having the
yeah.
season of her life.
Well, not only that, what I love is Annie Haig, Daniela Reef, and Lisa all trained.
Yep.
All did the Olympics.
All did the
2012,
Olympics.
Right?
So
It's-
long ago.
What? 11 years later.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
11 years
Yeah,
later,
yeah.
they're at the top of their game.
Still.
Right.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Annie, at that PTO race, which is a shorter distance,
Yeah.
she ran away
Her
from
running.
Ashley Gentle.
Her running
Right?
is.
Yeah, she's running better than ever. And it's funny, we were interviewing her and saying, you're the Ironman champion. You're considered an Ironman. She goes, my one disappointment was not medaling at the Olympics,
Yeah.
but I see myself as an Olympic athlete. I still mentally, I am.
I'm a short course, a short course woman.
And the age does. I've only been in the sport for 13 years or something.
Yeah.
I'm not like Sebastian's been in
No, for
30.
30 years, yeah,
right?
yeah.
He's 38,
Yeah,
been in
yeah.
for 30 years. But she's been in for 13 years, and she feels like, why can't I? And as somebody, as an athlete who was racing, how old were you when you retired?
44.
Exactly.
44.
You learn how to maintain speed.
Yep. And I think you also what you may lack in that physical arena. As you get a little bit older, you more than make up for in the mental arena.
Exactly.
And I think that's what we're seeing now. We're seeing a wiser, smarter, more cunning Annie racing.
Yes.
And she knows exactly what she needs to do when she hits that run course. And to her credit too, we talk about just her run, but her cycling's improved.
Way improved. Yeah.
I think she's an incredible athlete, and I don't think we've seen the best of Annie yet over this distance.
So without a Lucy in the field, does that make it a little different from the perspective of nobody really way off the front on the bike?
No, I mean, Fenella Langridge will obviously, we know that she's going to be out of the swim in front. And the thing with Fenella in this particular race is she thrives off the crowds here. So while others maybe don't get anything from it or don't even like it so much, she absolutely laps it up, and it just drives it.
She loves the crowd. Yeah.
And you can see last year, I mean, I start giggling watching her race because she's giggling, and you can see that the excitement and just how much fun she's having out there. You can't help but have fun when you watch her.
Well, when she was in Kona leading,
no
big deal. No, she's like, hey, well.
I think she likes to be in that position. So she's got nothing to lose out there on Sunday. So I think she's going to get out there and she's going to push that bike, and she's going to say, you girls want me, you're going to come and have to get me. So it makes it exciting, because that's when athletes can make mistakes, try and catch it too quickly. Maybe get into that red zone a little bit too long, and you get away with it on the bike, but it's the second half of the marathon where the wheels start to fall off. But all of these women are going to bring something to the table on Sunday, and that's what's most exciting.
So Sam Laidlaw, Magnus Dietlich, Daniel Bakkegaard, Ben Knut.
Keep it going.
It goes on and on and on, right? And we could see it happening a lot of different ways. I mean, Magnus is defending champion. Patrick Lange is one here.
Yep.
So you've got, and the guy, I was just looking at his times from last year or the year before. Niels Fromholt is still racing well.
Yep.
2015
He's won
champion.
it before too. That's right. Yeah.
So you've got a number of champions here, and people usually assume, well, if Magnus won last year, he'll win this year. But
no, it doesn't work like that, unfortunately.
I
wish it did.
Yes.
I know when I came back in 2006, I wasn't being arrogant or cocky. I just thought, you know what, I know this race, and I can do it again. And of course, I think it was Joanna Lawn that came that year, and she beat me.
Yes.
So
you find out quickly.
You do find out very quickly that it doesn't work like that.
The thing that impresses me here is a number of years ago, Felix, when they licensed the brand Challenge, and they started Challenge Atlantic City and Challenge Daytona, a lot of different challenge events, I could tell when I'd see Felix at the events that he was fried.
Yeah.
Right?
Pushed himself too far.
The fact that this is his baby. This is a family event. They licensed the brand. They wanted to make sure athletes can make money from challenge brands. But then he was smart enough to go, that's not me.
That's not
Traveling
me,
the world, glad-handing, doing that. I live in a small town in Bavaria, and this is where I want to be.
With my team, with my incredible team, and my mom and my sister.
And this is what I want to do. And I just think this event has elevated so much since he put that other stuff.
Put that aside and then 100% attention back here again. And it was the smartest decision of his life. And I think what a lot of people forget, when this race first started as a challenge event, it was obviously his father who started it along with Alice.
Yep.
And Felix was just working for his mum and dad, and Catherine as well. And he was very, very young. I still remember
he was a balloon boy.
He was a baby.
Yeah.
He started as a balloon boy. That's right. And even when I met him in 2004, he was so young and eager and keen. But I just think every year he took on a little bit more and then a little bit more. And it got to the stage where, honestly, if you keep on like this, it's going to be self-destruction. So he was smart enough to take a step back and realize this is where I need to expend all of my energy.
Yep.
And they've done that. And every year you think, I'm sure I'll be standing here again on Sunday night thinking, okay,
this is the best.
It cannot get any better than
Drop
this.
the microphone.
Yep,
You might
this
as well
is
just cancel from now on, because you can't do
We're
it better
done.
than this.
But every year they surpass, and they do something else that's just that little bit extra special and separates it from and I will say this, it separates it from every other race that there is on the triathlon circuit.
Yeah,
there's nothing like it.
There's back in the day we used to talk about Wildflower, and Wildflower
Absolutely.
Wildflower never had the money.
No.
But what the athletes knew when they came there, they had 3 meals. They had a fruit basket. They had somebody who cared about them.
Treated them
like
royalty.
Like
something
they
special.
need to be special. And that is exactly what the
they do here.
family does with every one of these pro athletes. And I don't think it matters what the purse is here. These people will be here.
Yep. But in saying that, the purse has gone up.
A lot.
A lot. That's right. €125,000 up for grabs on Sunday. I think the first place is €25,000.
That's pretty cool.
So it's good. And that's what they deserve. You know, when you've got a field of this caliber, they deserve to make good money. They're going to be working hard, and whoever crosses that finish line on Sunday in first place we know is one of the greatest athletes in the world right now, because that's what it's going to take.
So when you were racing, what was the biggest prize purse you ever got?
Oh, that's a good question. I can't even think. Well, it might have even been here, to be honest, because the prize purse back when I raced was still pretty good. I think it was still, and we're talking a long time ago now, I think it was still something like €12,000.
Wow.
And then what they do with Roth, what a lot of people don't realise, is you get bonuses for coming first, second, third. So I think there was a €5,000 bonus for winning it.
Wow, so you're up 17.
And then another 500 for having the fastest swim, bike and run. So, when you add it all together,
you're almost coming away with 20 grand.
Back in the day, that's like 100,000 these days, isn't
it? Absolutely. Belinda, I love the enthusiasm you bring to the sport. I think sport's in a great place, to be honest. I think with PTO and with Challenge and Clash and Ironman and 70.3 and Super League and everything else that's out there, Olympics, the people have so many options. Kids can come up and, hey, I want to do short. You go Super League.
Yep.
I want to go a little longer. There's can try
something
PTO.
for everyone.
Somebody for everybody, and people can make a living.
And I hate bringing up COVID, but I think it gave everyone a chance to, well, not a chance, they had no choice, to step back and start thinking, how can we make our sport bigger and better? And, you talk about the PTO and what they're offering now, and it's incredible. And the same with Challenge Family and with the World Bonus, with the short course, with Super League.
Yes.
I know I do some work for Phoenix, these Phoenix Futures camps that I'm a part of.
That's the Phoenix charity
that
Chris McCormick
found. Exactly.
Yes.
And we do these Futures camps where we have these young and up-and-coming athletes, not just in triathlon, but in all sports. And we give them the opportunity. We do a week-long camp, and they're given the opportunity to see what it's like to be a professional athlete. Yeah. And I still go to these camps and think, if only I had this as an up-and-coming pro.
Yep.
To just... we don't teach them how to train. We teach them how to become professional athletes.
Right.
How to talk like I'm doing with you now, social media, nutrition. And I just think there are so many more opportunities for the young ones coming through to actually make a profession of it.
Right.
Not just turn up to a race, win some prize money and go home.
Right.
To actually make a career out of it. And back in the day, we always talk about Jan Frodeno, because to me he's the complete package when it comes to professionalism.
Royalty.
He's royalty. And that's why we name him the GOAT. But he shouldn't be a one-off. There should be lots of Jan Frodenos, that full professional package that we're seeing. And I think that's where we're heading now, because of the PTO and because of Super League and because of all of these other events that are coming through that are allowing these athletes, one, to make a decent living.
Right.
And that gives them also then the freedom to do other things like learn how to speak in front of media and gives them other opportunities and sponsorship, etc., etc. So, I absolutely love where the sport's heading. It's great.
Always love chatting with you.
Yeah. Can I say one thing before we end, though? Because it's been a long time between drinks for you and I. I know back in the day I used to love, like all athletes, the one constant and the reason when I was talking to Felix about getting you back over here, I know everyone knows you as Breakfast with Bob, all of our audience, but to me, you are the absolute godfather of the sport of triathlon, and you have been for a long time. What you have brought to the sport over the years, I'm going to try not to get emotional, but what you've brought to the sport over the years, not just for professional athletes, but the CAF Foundation, the amount of money you've raised over the years, the amount of opportunities that you have given so many people that otherwise would never have experienced. I mean, there's going to be a special place in heaven for you, let me tell you, because you are one of the most incredible human beings I think that's ever walked the earth, and triathlon is one hell of a bit of a place for you being in it.
Oh my God.
And I just wanted to use this opportunity to say it because I think you're amazing.
My press agent, Belinda Granger, has been our guest. Again, this is Breakfast with Bob from Challenge Roth. Hold on, everybody. We will be right back after I dry my eyes.